All right, good evening, everyone. It's 5 o'clock Pacific time and considerably later over on the East Coast. We welcome you all to our World Mental Health event today, coordinated by Can Be Well and IASK, the International Association for Specialized Kinesiology. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Linda Easthouse. I'm the Vice President of the leadership team for Can Be Well, and I'm your host for today. I would like to begin by acknowledging the Indigenous people of the lands that we are on today. While we meet on this virtual platform, let us take a moment to acknowledge the importance of the lands for which we each call home. We do this to reaffirm our commitment and responsibility in improving relationships between nations and to educate our own understanding of local Indigenous people and their cultures. I have been living on the Huichol, also known as the Huixcarika, for the past year and on Cora land for the previous 6 years. These are part of the greater Aztec lands of Mexico. If you could put your ancestral land name and the location in the chat, we'd love to welcome all of you to do that. Evelyn is in the Okanagan. Helga's on the Haida Nation. Natascha's on the Umaki. Denise is on Redfish River. Cool, and I'm sure we have many, many more across Canada, through the United States and into Mexico. Please be sure to visit our website at www.canbewell.org or our YouTube channel at CanBeWell 9788. So it's CanBeWell 9788. And check out all our other classes and events listings, our YouTube playlists. There's lots for you to see and many things for you to learn and experience. If you aren't a member, we'd love to have you. Please consider that. Sign up for a class, join another event, check in on our monthly community chats where we can talk about whatever issues are going on for you and your practice and your experience and learning in bioenergetic wellness. It is a grand central place where all of your experiences around bioenergetic wellness will find a voice and classes and things to connect to. We have also prepared a journal, a handbook full of resources for each of these presentations. There is a bio for each presenter as well as their organization and modality and notes from their presentation. At the end of each section in the journal, there is also a fillable, editable page for notes. So as you're going through the presentations this evening, you can actually write your notes right in there, save it, and then print it out later or keep it as a PDF. And that's available to you. So you can just fill it right in. There's fillable notes available in that. You can download it from the website. All right, so we're going to start by introducing all 4 of our speakers for the day. I'll introduce each one, and then we can just kind of flow from activity to activity to activity through the time. So we have 4 wonderful speakers tonight with us. Our first will be Natascha Polomski. Natascha, you can wave at them so they know who you are. Natascha is a burnout recovery guide. She's a bioenergetic wellness professional and is passionate as an advocate for stress relief, emotional resilience, and sustainable self-care. Her mission is to help highlight high-stress individuals reconnect with their inner calm and thrive beyond burnout. Born and raised in Germany, she now calls Nova Scotia home. Her healing journey from burnout and adrenal fatigue to emotional clarity has shaped her deep commitment to guiding others back to balance. Natascha believes in treating each person as a unique individual, meeting you where you are with compassion, awareness, and practical tools rooted in sound, vibration, frequency, and intention. Our second presenter will be Evelyn Mulders. Evelyn is a healer and a teacher, and she was recently awarded an honorary doctoral degree in complementary and integrated health with the concentration in bioenergetic wellness. Since the early 90s, Evelyn has shared her enthusiastic pursuit to offer solutions to the problems with her focus on people and their physical, emotional, and spiritual environments. Being a holistic practitioner, Evelyn noticed that clients reached their life goals faster and easier if they implemented vibrational remedies such as flower essences, gemstones, or positive affirmations into their daily routines. She became the alchemist for the sound essence vibrational remedies in 1999. Evelyn also created the Kinesiology College of Canada and gained status as a senior faculty for the International College of Professional Kinesiology, offering the intensive 60-unit professional kinesiology practice in Canada, and has taught hundreds of students. I'm sure you will love her 7 tips that she's doing today. Our third speaker will be Colin McLeod, and with input from Dr. Michelle Green. All right, so Colin has spent 40 years expertly guiding teams to embrace organizational change with enhanced collaboration, productivity, and profitability. Colin has witnessed firsthand how crucial it is to have support for the human side of change. Doing so allows change to be embraced rather than resisted. This insight led him to create Harmonics for Business, where he blends his financial acumen with his 40 years of experience as a Celtic fiddle musician. Music has taught him to be attuned to the emotions, whether performing solo or in a band, and he applies this understanding to guide organizations and their teams smoothly through transitions. Through Harmonics for Business, Colin works to empower teams to embrace change with confidence and creativity, turning potential stumbles into strides. With over 4 decades of experience in movement through professional dance and Tai Chi, Dr. Michelle Greenwell is a recognized leader in integrating the healing arts with the wellness strategies for personal and professional success. Her dynamic approach weaves together the science of movement with energy medicine and mindful practices, offering innovative solutions to support the health and vitality of entrepreneurs, executives, CEOs, and employees alike. We'll look forward to our musical, vibrational healing approaches that Colin brings for us. And our last presenter will be Denise Cambiati. Denise is the founder of Muscle Tuners International and is a renowned expert in holistic health and wellness. She specializes in identifying and resolving muscular imbalances and dysfunctions. With a diverse skill set encompassing muscle testing, acupressure, and energy work, Denise empowers her clients to overcome pain, restore balance, and optimize their physical performance. Through her online programs, which include time-tested and proprietary methods, she trains body therapists, energy workers, and fitness trainers to enhance job satisfaction, their own physical wellness, and to extend their career lifespan. She also loves to empower members of the public with easy self-care activities that make a noticeable difference. So our 4 speakers for tonight, we welcome you all and look forward to what you're going to share with us. And we know it'll be very practical, so we want everybody to participate. When they say stand up and do something, stand up and do it with them, please. The more you experience it now, the more you'll be able to do it for yourself later. Before we jump in, let's take a few minutes and calm and center and relax. We're going to do a little meditation here to help everybody be focused and in a receptive place. We want to help everyone regulate their stress and feel centered so that you can receive the tools and experience them and remember them. So just sit back for a minute, relax, close your eyes if you like. And as we gather today for World Mental Health Day, let's take a few minutes to fully arrive, to be present in body, mind, and energy, so that we can get the most from our time together. If you feel comfortable, place both feet on the floor and rest your hands loosely in your lap. Allow your spine to gently lengthen, like drawing a thread upwards. Take a slow breath through your nose and release it out of your mouth with a quiet sigh. Let's do that again a few times, breathing in ease and exhaling out any tension from the day. Breathe in fresh, clear energy and breathe out all of your stress and busyness. Now bring your attention to the points where your body connects to the chair and your feet to the ground. Imagine a steady column of support rising up from beneath you. Allow yourself to settle in and be supported by this rising energy. This is your anchor. Allow yourself to sink into it and be held by your anchor. And breathe and out with stress. As you breathe, notice your biofield, your energy field, the space just around your body. Imagine smoothing that field like brushing your hand through water, clearing any static or clutter. You can do it physically with your hands if you like, if you enjoy the kinesthetic feel. Just brush through your energy. If you want to just imagine it, feel free. Sweeping and smoothing. With each breath, let your system settle into balance and release off any of the static or busyness of the day. Finally, place one hand lightly over your heart and sense the natural rhythm there. Breathing in and out. Let your mind come into sync with your heart. For today, for this 1 hour, give yourself permission to be present, open, and curious. When you're ready, gently release your hand and let's step together into this circle of learning. And I'm going to invite Natascha to share her holding spaces, giving versus offering. We look forward to what you have for us.
Thanks, Linda. So I'm going to be presenting on a topic that's very common for healers. BioEnergetic Wellness knows that too. Anybody who works with people should be aware of what holding space means. It's a safe space that you offer to another person, that you're just present with them, that you're not asking them to do anything, you're not requesting anything, you don't have expectations, you just basically be in their space and hold the space, ground for them, but not actually interfere with what they're doing. There is a different aspect to that, because we have two things, holding space and then giving and offering. But if you put those two together, it becomes interesting. So if you've ever been in a conversation and you feel that the person that you're with is truly present, truly listening to you, and not at the same time going to his shopping list or trying to convince you of his opinion, that's holding space. But it's even more when you bring the aspect of giving and offering to it, because then it becomes different. Traditionally is active listening, empathy, and emotional intelligence. But if you hold the space, you are not trying to control the outcome. You're giving them the opportunity, you're offering them the opportunity to expand to all possibilities and surprise you with it. So the critical distinction between giving space and offering space will change the whole interaction between two people or a group top down, same level, it doesn't matter. As soon as you go from giving to offering, you're changing the energetic outcome between those. Giving space is a subtle hierarchy. So if you say to somebody, I give you space to speak, how does that feel for everybody? If I say to you, I'll give you the space to offer your opinion right now, can somebody just give me a pointer how that feels when I say that to you?
I feel like there's a time limit on it.
If you say that, you're actually giving permission to somebody else to say something. So you hold control.
Yeah.
You are the person that can cut off the time, that can decide how they speak, what they say. If you don't like what they say, they cut off their space because you've given them the space. You didn't offer it. And you say it's mine first. Like I dominate this. This is my space. It's not yours. While when you switch over to offering, so I'll say, I offer you the time to explain what you want to say. How does that feel now?
That you've got the time.
Is it only the time?
Being in the moment with me.
Yes. But is it also that I restrict you in any other way? Is it just?
It's that the choice goes back to the person as to whether or not they want to share.
That's the point. You're not making them. If they don't want to share, they don't want to share. If they don't want to say a certain topic or talk about a certain topic, they don't have to, because it's an offered space. It's like a gift. It's not a you have to. It's not a and funny as it is in therapeutic touch, when we use the principle of giving and offering, we actually use the hand movement of giving and the hand moving of offering. So just how does that feel if I go like this? I give you the space, like I give you the space while I offer you the space. Can you feel the difference?
I offer you the space is better than giving the space.
So it's a shared moment. It's a get together. It's a I'll bring you to me. I'll not allow you, but I offer you the possibility to connect on the same level. It's not a top-down movement. It's not a forced action. It's an open environment. And it's a safe space because it's your decision what you make out of it. It's not my decision to force you into anything. The other thing is, I trust you in that time by offering you. I trust that you will do the right thing. You will do the thing that you need to do to bring us on the same level. Language shift, if you want to try that out, and I would like to have somebody else read it than me and tell me how that feels for them.
I'll volunteer.
Thanks, Denise.
So you're asking me to read the one sentence on the left and then the one sentence on the right and give a pause for people to sense the difference between them?
Yes.
Okay.
And also tell me how it feels for you to use these two sentences.
I'm giving you a moment to share what's on your mind. Well, that does feel pretty time limited and commanding.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to offer you a moment to share what's on your mind. That's much lighter. And that's much easier to say, yeah, no, that's okay, or to jump in.
So the fun part is when you listen closely, the way you pronounced it and the way you voiced it was, I am giving you a moment to share what's on your mind. So you're very sharp, very pronounced, very down. This is now, right? Well, I'd like to offer you a moment to share what's on your mind. Very much softer, very much inviting and not demanding. Even without really modulating it, but it automatically changes into the point of, yes, this is this is what you have to do. Or as I like to say, being German, very blunt and straight and strict was the first one. And I had to learn the Canadian way, which was more the gentler, the more polite way. And I see that very often these days when I look at friends and people come from Germany, and I don't mean that in a mean way, but it's just the way that we are brought up and the way our languages work. Sometimes your own language can be very harsh and can be very still, if I'd say in German, it's still, if I'd say I offer you the space, it might still sound harsher than when you say it in English, right? Because we're just so trained to be very strict and precise. So if I say I'll give you the place, I'll give you space to explain. I'll give you space to explain. Do you feel really drawn to sharing something, or do you feel more like,
Well, aren't you kind to let me talk? Is exactly what I hear there.
Yeah. Do you really feel like I'm inviting you to share with me what you really think, or is it like no, right? Well, I'll say, go ahead.
The first two sound like it's an HR interview where you've been called into the HR office to explain yourself or give account for yourself or whatever, and the other ones feel like a conversation where your input is valued.
That's the point. It's not about me giving you, like, having the power over you, being your boss or being the leader of the team or the manager of the team or whatever, or taking charge. It's a together if you offer, because you're basically not putting yourself above somebody else. So in business, this matters because the language you use in your business and with your clients, in teams, it doesn't matter where in business or even in private, it doesn't matter. It all comes down to the same point. You're creating trust when you offer because you're showing the other person that you value them. You're showing that you want to collaborate. So they feel drawn into, they feel invited, not forced into whatever they have to do. The thing is, when you open the playing field, when you're open and encompassing and inviting, you create the space for new things to happen because there's no limits and there's no restrictions. And the other part is there's no escalation. There might be arguments, but they will be in a form that can be managed, there can be a compromise, because nobody feels forced into a position that they don't want to be in. The energetics of holding space are not passive. It's an active choice, actually, to be there, to not judge anybody, and to be open for what the other person says. So when you're giving space, you're holding the container, you're really holding the box or that place that others are in, and you're controlling it. You draw the strings, you make sure that everybody runs in the same direction, and so on. Well, if you offer the space, it's like the box unfolds and all of a sudden there's a way bigger playing field. There's more space, there's more freedom, there's more movement and everything like that. If you bring in different energy, if you change to offering versus giving, you will be amazed in the changes that you will see in your teams and with your clients, because all of a sudden you have a different interaction. And yes, it's like creating a circle where all voices matter and focus is on allowing what needs to emerge, then can emerge. So it's not limiting, it's inviting. Practical ways to offer space. So what we just did, the language, but also when you go into a meeting with the intention to fight for whatever you think is right. When you have to be the one who is in charge, when you are, so every time you have the need, the must, and so on, it's ego driven. So it's about you, it's not about the team, and that's not inviting. That's actually you putting yourself above others. If you clarify your intention to be a team player, to invite the other person, to be support and witness and not executor. Unless somebody asks you for a certain thing, then you're bringing in space. Then you're bringing in the invite. If you create time without a rush, so me saying, take your time to tell me what you want, or here's the space, we can now openly discuss whatever you want. We have no time limit. It's different than you have 5 minutes to tell me what you need. And again, you see how the change in tone, in intonation is there. Listening without agenda is something that we have often a hard time because we're so focused on what we need and what we need to be done, even with clients, and what we think is right. But if we take the step back to just sit there and just listen really to what they say without interfering, without interrupting, and really be present with them and really listen to what they say, not just with their voice, but also with their body language, with their intonation, then all of a sudden we have a bigger picture and we are at the same level because we can interact in the presence and not from the status of I need, I want, I think. Acknowledgement and reflection are reasonable and really powerful tools that you can use. I tell my clients often when I hear that there's a conflict, use the practice of from what you say, I hear, and then tell them what you heard, because often we think the other person heard what we said and they don't. And we think it has been there, it has been received, but only half of it has been received, and there's the miscommunication and the misunderstanding, and that's creating mistrust, anger, resentment, and all of those. My invitation is the next time you are in a leadership conversation or in a normal conversation, even client call, networking chat, listen to what words you use, listen to how you use them, and listen to what energy is behind it. Listen with your heart, listen with your gut. Is it really about connecting with the person? Or is it about you getting what you need? And then ask yourself, am I giving space or am I offering? And does this moment really feel like a transaction or an invitation? Again, when we choose to offer space, we're not just changing our words. It's a whole full holographic movement, idea, intention, all of that comes together. And it's also your face, and it's also the intonation in your words. It's all of it. It's a whole package. And if you're truly trying to incorporate that, you will see that the more often you do that, and the more often you are really intent in offering that space and being present for that as a person, everything will change in every of your conversation. And you will really realize how easy it can be to communicate with people when you offer that space. So today I invite you to offer space and watch what happens when people step into it, because it's amazing. The conversations that happen, the things that happen, the friendships that can be created are truly amazing. So one of the best things that I've ever discovered, and I hope you can discover that too.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I'm sure that that's something we'll all be implementing this week and be aware of as we start to see that. Natascha will not likely be around for the Q&A at the end because she is on the far eastern side and it's already very late there. But any questions or comments you'd like to communicate with her, you can put in the chat and they'll get to her, or you can email them to the office at canbewell.org and she'll be able to respond to you from there. So thank you again, Natascha. That was lovely. Very,
Pleasure.
very helpful information. All right. And we are going to move on to Evelyn. Let's get you on the screen here.
Well, Natascha, I just really, really loved everything that you offered and kind of wondered if as clinicians, we kind of bounce back and forth without even knowing. And then with you offering that suggestion, it was like, yeah, pay attention to that. So that's really great. I remember one of my first trainings, I was with a top-notch energy kinesiologist, and we were having a cup of tea. And it was before classes started, and she kept asking me these questions. And she wasn't doing any muscle testing, but she created this offering. And I kept answering these questions, and she kept asking me personal, deep questions, and I was playing. And what I realized is that she was doing the active listening, and I had a full 100% bioenergetic wellness balance over a cup of tea because of her knowing and listening and sensing. And I was marveled, and you just brought me back to that memory. So thank you, Natascha. That's glorious. And now that I have the memory, I hope I can do that and repeat it for others all the time.
I am happy to introduce Evelyn and her talk about 7 bioenergetic wellness tips to boost mental health in the workplace.
Well, thanks, Denise. I really took this literally. And you know I'm all about the number 7. So when they asked for one tip, I said, no, I'll give you 7 of them. So yes, I think we'll do an interactive. The one thing that came to my mind, I actually did 3 of these exercises. I did one, how to handle stress in the household, just very quickly. And this one was focused on the training that we have in bioenergetic wellness. The first thing that came to my mind was tapping the thymus. So if everybody here could just sort of check in with their own vitality, if they could just see where they sit in their day's doings, and just check in and see what your life energy is on a scale of 1 to 10, and maybe just note it in the chat for a second. I won't do this on every one of the 7 exercises, but I think it'd be really fun if we go through them, and then you can see if there's any change in your vitality then from when we start. Okay. So tapping the thymus and calling your energy back. Yeah, we all need to be reminded of that. So just the thymus is just right in the center of your chest. And I'm just going to say, Evelyn, please come home. Put both feet on the ground if you can. You make a nice straight spine. I mean, you can have all those rules, but you can just be slunched down and kind of, depressed and go, Evelyn, please come home. So just tapping here and say, Evelyn, please come home. So you'll say, please come home. Jessica, please come home. Tanya, please come home. Colin, please come home. Teresa, please come home. Another one that stuck out from all of the training over the years was polarity. If you think about having 2 magnets and you think about putting the negatives to the negatives or the positives to the positives, things kind of go, they don't connect. And if your polarity isn't working and running appropriately in your body, there's a lot of electromagnetism in the body that's not getting the energy it needs. So for the polarity, how many here know how to rub their K27s? Does that make sense to anybody? So the K27 is the end of the kidney meridian. We use 2 fingers, again, asserting the idea of positive and negative. Put your 2 fingers together, cross them over, and then rub the end point of the kidney meridian. And this is a very simple correction to get your electromagnetism running appropriately in your body. Okay. And
Evelyn, could you please move your laptop screen down so it's very clear where you're rubbing? Thank you.
Okay, here.
Just below the collarbones?
So I'm coming here where the collarbone meets the sternum. There's a little notch in here. Yeah. And then just changing over, or crossing over, I'm sorry. And then just switch hands. This simple movement helps reduce stress, balances the energy, and boosts clarity. this might not be in the kinesiology, or sorry, the bioenergetic wellness protocols in any of the training, but it's something that I have come to love, and it's the Ho'oponopono prayer. How many of you have heard this one? Nice. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So take off your mute, and as a group, we'll do it together 3 times. So I'll say it first, and then we'll do it together as a group so that we're all together. So I am sorry.
I am sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
For the second round together. I am sorry.
I am sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please
Please
forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I love you.
I
I
love
love
you.
you.
I love you.
I am sorry.
I am
I
sorry.
am sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please
Please
forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
Evelyn, is Tanya. Can I make a comment about Ho'oponopono?
Oh, please.
So I use it a lot with my clients / students who are in situations that they don't have any control over, like an addicted person. But one of the things that I do for myself as someone who's recovering from body issues and emotional eating is that I use it as a body scan. So I start with at my ankles and I say the Ho'oponopono prayer as I go up through my body and then back down. I'm just sharing that if that might help anyone.
Gorgeous. And if we were having a conversation, I have a little story. Everything comes with a story with me. I'm actually in Coquitlam visiting Red River. Is it Red River Fish? Yeah. I'm in Coquitlam visiting Denise, and she just got this new tool. It was called a heart math tool. And the idea is that you had to connect and create a heart space. And once you could do that, then the machine would light up. And Denise and I have been friends for an awful long time, and I think it was, in my opinion, it was her way of keeping me busy for a little bit while she had something else to do because I was visiting at her house. So I'm sitting there with this heart math machine trying to get this light lit up because I got to come from my heart center. And then I had this light bulb. I was like, I'm going to do the Ho'oponopono prayer. And I have to tell you, I only said it 3 times, and that machine lit up. And I was like, I'm done, Denise. And she's like, what? So the heart math proved the fact that it really does get you into your heart center and connected. That's the 3rd out of the 4th. Oh, sorry, Seema.
That's okay. I mostly use it, we have some family members that you get conflict with and this and that. So even anywhere you go and then you get some sort of problem with somebody. So what I do when I come home or over there, I try to practice this. I said, I just close my eyes and then put that person in front of my eyes in my imagination. And I said, in case from my past birth until today, if I made any mistakes in my last birth until today, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I got relief right away from it. So instead of, I think, going like 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, I repeat 1 line at one time, like I was repeating now. That even more goes inside to you. And then that works even like, of course it's working. Your ones is better, fine too. but that's how I found that it's right away you get relief from that.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. I love the three. You know, the three is so important. I'm crazy about sacred geometry and numerology, but three is all about foundation. And yeah, you're building a new premise with that. Thank you. For me, I'm crazy about seven, so I might be, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. But that's fantastic. I love it.
I think it's better the way we say it, like inwards, and then like, I'm sorry, I am sorry, I am sorry. Then you're going very deep inside. You're saying it from inside, not just from outside. You're saying it from inside.
Ah, there's the magic.
Yeah. You're saying it from inside. Like if you're saying like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, it's just going in the air. When you say it like slowly, I am sorry, I am sorry, I love you, please forgive me, please forgive me, please forgive me. So I think.
Thank you. Any other comments on the Ho'oponopono? I am going to move on to the figure eight energy. That's another favorite. Who all knows about the figure eight energy? Yeah, so it's always about the figure eights. When I was a mother of a young son, and I'm sure every single mother has gone through this, where the child is focused, you put them in front of the TV because you need to get things done, and then you need to pull them away from the TV because then you need to take them to school. It's really not fair, is it? So they get focused on the TV, and now you need to pull them away from that activity, whatever it is. I'm just using TV as an example, to move them in a different direction. And I was having a challenge. So one day I stood behind my son and I just did the figure eight energy with him. I said, all right, it's time to jump in the car to go to school. And just like that, he moved in the car and went to school. And I was like, oh, I have to share this with every mother in the first grade class. My son learned figure eight energy. For some reason, he just really took to it. And anytime any of the young kids in the school ground would get hurt, they would run over to my son, Corey, and they say, Corey, somebody's hurt. You have to help them. You have to help them. And then he would do his figure eight energy. So figure eight energy, we have figure eights everywhere, all sizes, all shapes, all directions. And if you're stressed in any way or you're feeling a little bit less than your best, I offer the idea of doing figure eight. You can draw it with your hand. You can draw it with your nose, if you like. You can draw it with your whole body. We've implemented it in some of our programs with throwing the figure eight into your hip. You can draw it on paper. So just play around with figure eights. Make them big, make them small. Close your eyes and draw them as big as you want. Just helps with mental tension. Okay, are you ready for my number 5? Because now you really all have to take off your mutes. Who here knows about Julie Andrews? Have you ever heard about the sound of music? Do you know the song? I'm going to ask you to sing the song with me. Are you ready? I'll go off key, so I need you guys to help me. Do,
Do, re, mi.
yeah, we'll do. Okay. Do, a deer, a female,
Ray, a golden,
golden sun.
me,
Me, a name, I
name I call myself when I am
longer
alone.
way to run. So a needle pulling thread. T, a note to follow. So I think that's supposed to be drink after jam. And do, re, mi, fa,
Do.
sol, la, ti. Oh yeah, do. Yeah, I messed that up pretty badly. But if we do it all together, maybe we'd have some coherence. Can you guys work with me on that? Do you know?
Trying.
Okay. Kathy, you want to lead us?
No, because I was born in Austria, as you know, but I only found out about this song when I was moving to Australia 30 years ago. So I don't even know the song by heart. I'm sorry. I'm happy to follow, but I cannot lead.
So the point of Julie Andrews' song is that she's literally singing every note for every one of the chakras. And so if you need a good chakra balance, you're going to sing it. I'm going to try it again, and if I fail, I'll move on very quickly to my next piece. So do, a deer, a female deer, gray, a drop of gold sun, me and I call myself, do, re, mi, fa, a longer way to run. So, a needle pulling thread, tea, a drink with jam and bread, love, no, oh shucks, I did it again. Anyways,
No.
do, da, 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 da. Anyways, go ahead and we'll find a recording of Julie, not Evelyn, and we'll balance the chakras. But it's absolutely fascinating. I've been intrigued with that song since I was 5 years old, never knew why. And then one day someone said to me, if you sing Julie Andrews' Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, you're balancing all your chakras. Just that simple.
That's extraordinary. I had no idea.
All
Is that
right.
possible that you can share that recording with us as well, please?
Sure. But I think you just do Do, Re, Mi, Sound of Music on YouTube. It'll be right there. Better than me. So this number 6 is tapping around your navel. The navel is it's your hara, it's your center, it's your connection with your mother, it's your connection with the earth. And so again, just the 2 fingers, finding your navel and making the 5-pointed star. So fire, earth, metal, water, wood, and tapping around the navel. So I could stand up and do it. Here, my navel is here. So I'll just go fire, earth, metal, water, wood, fire. That's not working so good, with that thing on. So we'll go fire, earth, metal, water, wood, fire, earth, metal, water, wood. And once you get a knack of it, you just give it a light tap, fire, earth, metal, water, wood, fire, earth, metal, water, wood. So you're tapping into the 5-element theory, which supports the 14 meridians, which also can support you with your outlook on life. And finally, number 7 on my list in the journal is to do a 7-sense meditation. And I do have a recording of that. And I invite you to go ahead and take a look at it. The idea behind that is that you get to connect with all 7 senses. Okay, sorry, I picked up, you're used to only having 5 senses, is that right? So yes, there are 2 more senses that we don't think about. So again, we're going to follow the chakras, and so maybe I'll stand up again. The root chakra has to do with the sense of smell. That's the most primal sense that we have. We can get to a moment in time in a nanosecond if we have the smell. Sacral chakra is all about taste. Don't we get happy in our body when we get yummy tastes in there? The solar plexus is all what we see with our eyes. The heart chakra is all about touch. It doesn't have to be practical touch. We can be touched by love, and we can reach out and love and touch someone else. The throat chakra is all about what we hear with our ears. The brow chakra is all about bringing in the light. It has to do with the pineal gland. It's the light and the color that we see in our bigger picture. And finally, thought is the 7th sense. So there's a I'm kind of doing this on purpose so that you can go back to the manual and you can click on the YouTube videos and you can enjoy that 7 sense meditation to really exemplify the focus of what it is that you're desiring to have in your new delicious life. So we've gone through 6 out of the 7. Would you please check in with your energy level and see if any of those made a change on how you feel tonight?
Absolutely. Total shift. It's a combination of the thymus, which I use daily anyway, and the last one, the tapping, the 5-element tapping, haven't done for a while. It's very powerful. Thank you for reminding me.
A good reminder, hey? Thank you, everyone, for participating. It's my privilege to be part of this committee, this conglomeration of amazing minds. So thank you for having me here, and I'm passing the torch over to Colin.
Hey, thank you so much, Evelyn. That was wonderful. Lots of practical things that we need to be implemented into our lives every day and that we can share with friends and families. Very hands-on and useful, which is really what we want to do. So thank you so much for that. And if you have questions on any of those, we will have time afterwards. And maybe we'll send out an email afterwards with that links to the song and to all the things that she mentioned there. Most of them are in your journal, so please go and watch them. Go and, you've got all your notes and things there for it. So now we're going to welcome Colin. Sorry you had trouble getting in at the beginning, Colin, but we did introduce you at the beginning. And we look forward to hearing what you have to share with us on the harmonics. That sounds fascinating, so please take it away.
Well, thank you, Linda. Thank you, everyone. It's lovely to be here, and it's just when you get to the computer, when you're so intent on something. Does anyone ever use the computer? And there's the posture of sort of really being close to just make sure you catch every detail. You might sort of be shallow breathing. The shoulders might sort of go in like this, and you might have your head forward and your feet might be stretched out. But just imagine if there was actually a way that you could counter that. You could relax. And so if you can imagine just sort of sitting towards the back of the chair and you're firmly seated with your sits bones in place. I actually like the word sits because it sits in German to sit, but I also think about sitting. And you make sure you got your feet firmly planted on the floor, push into your feet and see how your posture responds. Now, has anyone ever seen a puppet show? And so can you just sort of pull your ears up, just like that, just to lift the posture, and then reevaluate where you all are. I see a smile. I see some smiles. So that's a good indicator. That's a good indicator. And I think, when we're in a meeting or when we're someplace where there might be a group of people, but that's a really good way to, just get a balance, get a harmony. And it does bring a smile to people's faces. And so I've talked a bit about posture there, and there's a phrase that they use in Scotland, and I think they might use it in North America and Canada: mind over matter. The dedication to the clause. When we're intently gazing on the fine print of life. We're so engrossed in what we're doing. We want to finish our product. We're deep diving. We're professional bungee jumpers. We deep dive into the detail, then we come back up to the overview. We're down again and up. And that can sort of be overwhelming. So the idea of ESRs, can everyone put, I think, 2 fingers beside the eyebrows and then 2 fingers on the head? And when I think of ESRs, emotional stress relief, as a fiddle player, I think of MSR, March Strathspey and Reel. March Strathspey and Reel takes a bit longer to do, but you know, just what a magical way just to be able to sit and just be, and you know, go from overwhelm to underwhelm. And that, you know, there's a relief, there's a, can everyone just go, one more for luck, one more, and then we'll do a, that's better. And, you know, music can also sort of like just help and bring sort of peace to things. So why don't we just try some music, okay? Now you can either sit or stand for this. Has anyone ever been in an elevator? And I was in an elevator once and I went up to the 18th floor and I wanted to take my business to the next level. Ha ha ha. So music in an elevator. What a great way. Did you all feel a lift there? And I'm hoping that the violence coming through. And then, you know, you could have maybe radio chatter. And you know, that sort of brings a bit more to life. A waltz. So just give yourself, if you always want to stand and maybe just moving the chair. And that has a totally different effect. And then Canada. I have heard that people in Canada have great feet. They have a great sense of rhythm in their feet and the tapping. So let's try something to tap the feet. So are you ready? Are you all ready? And music to sing to. And that freedom of movement, that freedom of music, that combination, that teamwork, that collaboration of music and movement and music, just as a way to get into flow and to sort of be in harmony. The idea that doing something that you love, you know, when you've got people around you, and you know, there's different ways that we can bring in all the techniques today from all our presenters that really create space. And you know, we've done some toe tapping to music that improves the circulation, the breathing. There's hip release, there's spine massage, and you know, can everyone just try an ear rub? Because I know we're all in different time zones. Can we just do our left hand to right ear first, and just do an ear rub just 3 times? So 3 times from the top to the base of the ear, and we can sort of go just a bit further in. And then can we do the right hand to left ear, please? And just these ear rubs. And I think on one of the other calls, they were actually talking about a bear rub. So I think an easier rub is that, for me, an ear rub is actually easier to do than a bear rub. So, you know, with the idea that the time, you know, you might be feeling a bit, oh, gosh, maybe slightly late at night, but the ear rub is such a great way to pep things up, you know, just put that sparkle back in, because that's what we're doing. We're bringing sparkle to people's lives here. We really are. And I'm realizing that I'm coming to the end of the session here, and Michelle, Dr. Green, well, Michelle and myself have some resources in the journal, and you could do some foot exercises to music to sort of change how you feel with ease. There's the Dan Yu, he was quite a famous person, and from Tai Chi to improve mental clarity and tension release. Parting bamboo to open the breathing, the circulation to heart and heart relaxation. And it's, you know, we're coming into the winter. I know it's fall just now, but we're coming into the winter. And parting bamboo is great for colds, coughs, asthma, or sort of breathing. And, you know, when combined with music, so movement and music, these are really powerful just partners in creating a very special day. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Colin. That was lovely. It's so refreshing to see, you know, to really pay attention to how the music affects the body and where you're responding in that. And thank you for all of the resources that you and Michelle put in there in the journal, and to give everyone access to a lot of these things. That'll be really helpful as they do it. And it kind of reminded me, it's really important that we pay attention to what music is going on in the background of our sessions, what music is going on in the background of our meetings, what music are we playing in the background of our store or our office, you know, environments. And so often we don't, you know, oh, I like that, fine, but we don't choose with intentionality what we want to create in the atmosphere through that. So thank you for that wonderful reminder of that. Very, very good. All right, those are our third presentation, and now we are going to go to our lovely Denise Cambiati, and she is going to talk about the triad of health model, and look forward to having that explained a little bit, because I'm sure that not everyone knows what that is. So take it away, Denise.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to this group and those that are watching the replay. And I'm inviting you to think about how models can be very useful. Templates, people can call these different things, but you take something that's typically a shape and you fit something into it. And in the world of bioenergetics, many of our classes do begin with the idea of the triad of health. So if you're just somebody joining and you're an office worker, you're a shift worker working, auto assembly line, you're a mother who's just juggling all the jobs of a household, you probably have never thought about how the importance of a triad can support your wellness. So triad is a definition is a group or a set of 3 connected things. And the triad of health that I want to talk about is about how I want to bring 3 topics: how our feelings, our bodies, and the food that we eat all work together to help us feel better or not. So think about it like a triangle where each side supports the other. And I'm going to show you an image. Here we go. So a triad that's common in the world of bioenergetic wellness is often we like to work with structure, the physical body at the base of the triangle, for example. And that's important to me as a muscle tuner because muscles connect to bones, and bones, they hold us up, right? They help us move, but it's not the bones that are moving, it's the muscles. And so there's a fair bit going on with structure. And then structure is one side of this triangle. What if we look at what's called biochemistry? That can be hormones. We have a lot of biochemical things, neurotransmitters and things running around in our body. And there's good old nutrition. And we all know, like, are the foods you're eating healthy for you? Are they nourishing you? Are they enhancing your energy level? Or are they slowly sapping your strength? And on the third side of the triangle come the famous emotions. Is there anybody in this room that's never felt an emotion? Have we sometimes been squashed in feeling our emotions, trying to repress them? Because if we let them out, boom, our world would explode. Well, emotions are connected to so many aspects of our life. And I know if you're listening to this talk, you already know on some level that emotions connect to your wellness. They connect to stress. If you're not managing your emotions well, you're stressed. If you're stressed, you're not feeling well. And if you're not feeling well, you're probably not eating well. And so all of this, especially emotions, are often connected to mental wellness. So when I learned this structure in high school. The science teacher had a structure and it was a triangle. And he showed us that if you put pressure on the top of the triangle and you push as hard, that triangle is very resistant to pressure. And if you push on the side of any one of these sides, this is a very stable form because all the angles in the inside corners, they're all the same and they distribute stress equally. And so all 3 sides, all 3 parts of this model, whatever you label the sides, they really support one another in remaining stable. Now, what happens if you get an injury, sprain your ankle? Or what happens if your kids are driving you around the bend and you haven't got enough sleep and you're working 3 jobs? Maybe the emotional side of the triangle is going to go out of balance. And what if you're making bad food choices? So an example of this, oh dear, for some reason, I can't seem to move this around. Just a moment, I have a solution. I stop share and then I can get there. Or not. Here we go. Thank you for your patience. Let me, sometimes when I display things on my computer, it can get a little cranky. So here's an example when your biochemistry is a little bit out of whack and how then your emotions and mental wellness side of the triangle have to stretch to meet this length. And all of a sudden your structure is short. And it doesn't matter what you put on what side of the triangle. The idea is now if you put some pressure on any one of these long sides, it's quite a lot easier for this triangle to collapse. Is this making sense to the people who are watching? I'm just going to stop that so I can open up and see. Do I have any head nods of people who go, well, that makes sense, right? Okay. So why this matters, this triangle of health, is really to set you up with the idea that sometimes you don't have to work on everything at once. Sometimes you could just work on one of the things that is out of balance. And when you bring that more into balance, everything else adjusts around it. And it brings it back to that equilateral triangle that I first showed you. So basically, let's just do a little experiment, if you don't mind. May I ask you to stand up? And as you stand up, I would like to invite you to notice how you're standing. Are your feet pointing forward? Are they underneath your hips? Do you feel like you're balanced equally between your feet? How do you feel? Are you leaning forward, backwards, a little bit to the side? Are you slouching a little bit? Is your head straight? Just notice, where are you feeling comfortable right now? Not doing anything extra to say, oh, I'm going to stand up straight. Just your natural self. Just notice that. Well, I want to suggest that how you stand really matters. So now, imagine feeling lousy. Imagine recalling an event where you felt really stressed, maybe sad, depressed, unhappy, name it what you name it, and just recall that moment if it's safe for you to do so, and notice what happens to your posture. Take a moment to really sink into a memory where you were feeling not great. And did you notice that you collapse in on yourself? This is very common. You might slouch a little bit, your knees might soften and weaken a bit. Now, imagine a time when life was going great. You won an award. You were on top of the world. You couldn't feel any better. I recall or imagine an event like that where you're like, woo-hoo, I feel like I just won the lottery. What happened to your posture? Did you notice you straightened? Your shoulders went back. Your head is up. You're smiling. This is very natural. So I'm going to invite you to sit down again. So how many of you have ever heard the expression, just keep your chin up? You know, a friend comes along, you're not feeling great, and it's quite common for people to just say, just keep your chin up. Okay, just keep blinking, keep breathing, take a deep breath and carry on. Well, there's a grain of truth to keep your chin up instead of looking down. Can you imagine when you talk to people looking down, you kind of sound a little bit low. But when you look up and look at people in the eye, you're brighter, you're more engaging. It signals to the world that you're open and available, and you're feeling pretty good. Because if you can look the world in the eye, look people in the eye, that just puts a whole signal out. So posture is so important. So now you're feeling good because your posture's changed. Your emotions are more likely to be more positive. It's easier to pull yourself out of sad emotions towards more positive emotions. And when you've got the positive emotions happening, it's a lot easier to make better food choices. So think about who hasn't curled up on the couch with a whole bunch of snacks, a pint of ice cream, whatever it is, and you're eating unconsciously. It's very common to use food to soothe. And we're probably not eating carrot sticks We're probably not doing the healthy foods when we're improving ourselves, enhancing our moods. So foods can make us feel good for a little while, but they don't support us if you're eating junk food. So this is really basically what I want to just mention, that if you want to support your wellness, work on one aspect. Go see a talk therapist or find a good friend who does active listening and share some of your feelings, and or go do some physical activity to release that. And then when you're done, you're walking down the street, leaving the gym, your energy workshop, and it's all, it's better than when you walked in, right? So always, always, always remember to find balance in your life. And if life is feeling hard, if you're tired, if you're upset, just focus on one thing. Say, today I will eat well, or today I'll go for a walk, or today I'll call a friend and share my burden, because a burden shared is a burden halved. And then it's a lot easier to stand up straight when the burden's not so heavy. So all these metaphors really are connected to something powerful in our world. And I just invite you to think about, what one thing can you do today? What one little thing can you repeat tomorrow? And all of this doesn't have to be done all at once. But if you felt 1% better from doing something today, it's moving in the right direction. Your body will remember. Your energy field will appreciate you. And you just keep building that up. And you keep thinking of that model of the triangle to get it from being way out of shape to that nice, healthy, strong, equilateral triangle. That means you have balance in your life and you'll be able to manage stresses that come. It's a lot easier to let the water flow off like water off or the stress flow off like water off a duck's back. And that's my message for you today. And I invite you to look at the resources that I share in the journal to support you. I have a number of tips that you can use for body, mind, and soul.
So thank you, Denise. That was beautiful. And it's so important. I really love that message of just do one thing, and one thing can change everything. And it's so important that we don't go, oh, I need to do this and this and this and this, and then we get so overwhelmed we do nothing. So I really encourage everybody to really take that to heart and start just with one thing. Good place to start. And thank you all to all of our presenters. I think you've been very eloquent in helping people think through some of these things and providing lots of things they can do. I realize some of you may need to leave soon. It is very late for some of you. So I'd like to do our closing circle first, and then we'll go to Q&A. So let's just take a moment and consolidate what you've heard. Give us a moment to integrate what you've heard and reflect on those things that you might want to get started on. So as we close our circle today, let's just take a few minutes to integrate the things that you've heard and practiced. Again, sit comfortably, feet on the floor, taking a breath. Breathe it out slowly through the mouth as a slight sigh. And think back over the tools that you gathered and experienced this evening. Whether it's a new perspective, a practical tip, or simply a moment of insight. Picture one of those tools in your mind. See it glowing softly, like a spark of light that you can carry with you. Now imagine weaving that spark into your daily routine at work, into your meetings, into your focus time, into your leadership, and into your interactions with your team and other members. See how it strengthens not only your mental endurance, but your presence and connection with others. With each breath, let that sense of alignment and resilience settle deep into your body. Inhale calm. Exhale clarity. Inhale focus. And exhale strength. Now take a deep breath. And as you exhale, imagine sending a ripple of steadiness and well-being outward towards your colleagues, to your team, to your workplace. Ripple it out to those around you. Allow them to mirror your calm and your strength. When you're ready, open your eyes and know that as you leave this circle today, not only with knowledge, but with embodied resources, you can return anytime and use these tools. Let them become part of your daily habit. Thank you. So for question and answers, please use the button to raise your hand. Sometimes I can see you, sometimes I can't, but I know Denise is able to see them. So raise your hand and we'll call on you. Please direct your question to one of the speakers. Remember, Natascha is not on anymore at this point. Ask your question and to one of the presenters, and we'll give them a minute or two to respond. If you have a question you'd rather just put into the chat, you can put it there as well. And if you have a question that comes to you after, or if you're watching the replay, please feel free to send questions into the office and we'll make sure they get to the presenters. So I'm just inviting you, the floor is open. Anyone who would like to ask a question to any of the presenters, please do so.
Well, I'll warm up the group, and it's not really a question, but it is, oh my goodness, Colin, I loved how you brought us through different tempos, moods, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a musical person. The first one was like, okay, there's some music. I'm standing there. My body's just standing there. I'm going, okay, I'm receiving this music that's being offered. Then you moved into the next one, and I could feel my body sway forward and back completely involuntarily. And then the waltz, my body just was going side by side. And that was really curious to experience that. So thank you for giving such an opportunity to have such clear messages from my body about how it's resonating to the different frequencies out there.
You're very welcome, and those when you move, you groove, and I honestly think that there's a partnership or a collaboration between music and movement, or movement and music. And if you ask which one came first, I think they both came together, and they both inspire each other. And they just, when we want to move through different emotions and the tools that have been available from all of us today, there's the different ways in which there's a resonance, a sympathetic resonance, and just being able to move through different stages of where we are, it's just, it makes the journey so much more fun, or our personal journeys. And imagine if Indiana Jones could do a film about it. Chakra Jones, Chakra Khan might have been the singer, and the idea about just what we're moving through. And Denise, if I can say, when you did the Pythagoras theorem, Pythagoras, I think, actually just brought harmonics to the world. And a squared equals b squared plus c squared. So when you put the triangle from here on, onto its sort of its flat side, And I was just wondering if that, looking at that type of a triangle, and it might have been an off day for Pythagoras when he had a party the night before and overate or something, and that's when he came up with his formula for a squared equals b squared plus c squared. But that idea of the legacy that he's given the world, harmonics, you know, and then so that understanding, that appreciation of when we look at something in a different way, when we move through different emotions, or when we take a step forward, and the tools help each of us to take a step forward on our own journey, or the journey of, and the journeys of our clients.
Thank you. Yes, I like the way you explained the theory there. That was very helpful. Thank you. Someone else have a question that they would like to ask?
I just wanted to add something to Denise's talk. She said one thing at a time. A long time ago, like I get up and then I'm here in one bedroom, and the second bedroom I do a little bit here, then I go to the second bedroom, I do a little bit there, in kitchen I do a little bit there, downstairs I do a little bit there. Then I learn about one thing at a time. So then I start reminding myself, I said, no, you have to stop here. One thing at a time. When you finish one thing, then you go to the second one. You can't believe I finished all my homeworks and then so many different chores by saying to myself one thing at a time. Otherwise, all day long, at the end of the day, I had nothing done. But since I started saying to myself, one thing at a time, now even my kids, I'm teaching them too. I said, whatever you do, you play, you play. You eat, you eat. You sleep, you sleep. So one thing at a time made a big difference in my life. So thank you so much, Denise. Really appreciate it.
That's a
Thank you.
great practical example. Thank you for sharing.
I'm well, one thing at a time, and I think when you're just sort of sitting, and I love cycling, and when I was in Australia, I used to live in Melbourne. In the centre of Melbourne, they've got all these huge buildings like that, absolutely huge, and the Chinese have sort of built a lot of them. It's been funding from China, but there was one building that I used to sit, and all I would see is a figure of 8 around the bottom of the building. And I used to sit and just look at that figure of 8, and I didn't know why. And Evelyn, when you brought up the figure of 8, I now have a greater appreciation of why. So
why?
Why I look at a figure of 8.
Yeah.
Why do you think?
The pattern, like I just love the pattern and the flow in it. And when I think of flow, that's when things are sort of, I won't say going smoothly, but just that flow, that knowing when you've got your rhythm. And I think I'm possibly quite visual in what I see. So to hear, to see the figure of 8, and I'm just sitting there, and what I found out, was that the number 8 in Chinese is a really important number, to the extent that there was an office building in Sydney, Australia, a number of years, that sold for $88,888,888.88. And just that, and I think Michelle, I forget, but just that concept of 8, and it ties back to the a squared equals b squared plus c squared. When you've eaten, that's it, Evelyn, that is it.
I got something for you before you close, and you guys can take off the recording, but I've got something I want to share with the group that's absolutely, because
Please do.
Wait,
It's an infinity sign. It's an infinity sign. It's an infinity
Okay.
sign. I do it on my clients
Wow.
because when we do the Reiki,
Yep.
You can use this infinity sign. You put it on your client like this at the end of the session, and that's just, you know, it's just relax them, and it's relax as well you. And then even though when I do the reflexology on my client's foot, I do infinity sign like this, then I feel the same infinity sign on my neck going on my body. The time I'm healing my making balance in their body with infinity sign, the same time my body gets so much relief and it's healed right away, and then I'm so much relaxed.
Wow.
So even though I had problem in my eyes, wherever I have problem in my shoulder, so I do it like this, and then in no time my eyes are relaxed. If I have heart pain and I just do it, it's just relaxing it right away. You'll be surprised. It's amazing. It's an infinity sign.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Teresa, did you have your hand up there?
Yeah, I wanted to ask Colin, since you play so intuitively, when you were connecting into the energy at the building there with the infinity sign, like the figure 8, did you have a piece of music that actually came through? Did you really think about that? I'm just really curious because I know you play so intuitively and you connect into the energies so beautifully when you bring that in. And you mentioned the flow of it, and I too love the infinity sign. I actually do it for myself when I do my connections every morning and stuff. So I'm just really curious about that.
It's actually there might be a possibility.
Okay.
I'd have to think back, but I could maybe put one, think about it, and then put one. You know, that could be part of the delivery for people.
Wonderful. That'd be so incredible because you play so beautifully.
Thank you.
And I love seeing the way that you take the energy of what you are perceiving and intuitively funnel that into your music. It is just so beautiful, and it's such a beautiful gift the way that you can just harness all of that and bring such harmonious balance to it. It's so beautiful. So I look forward to that.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Evelyn, you wanted to share one more thing?
I do. I'm hoping that you guys can see it. Can you see that? Is it a clock?
Okay, it looks like a circle with some,
Here, let me do this. Is that better?
that's better.
Yes, that's better.
Okay.
Except you're just on the edge of it. You need to move it up.
That way?
Pull it towards you.
We can see the A and the C. More. Okay, it's too big for the whole screen to see at once, but we get the idea of what you're doing there.
So it's a clock. So it's 12 o'clock down here and 6 o'clock down here. And I guess that would be 9 if that's 3. But anyways, back to Colin. It was Colin. The 3, 4, 5 triangle. So 3, 4, 5. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. This came from a sacred geometry mentor of mine, and I just want to share this with this group. This is one of the most profound things that I ever was explained, that if you take Pythagoras...
Pull a little closer to you, please.
When you take Pythagoras's theory and you apply it to the 12 notes or the 12 colors, that you get perfect harmony. So if I was to, I think this is B, D, and G is a perfect chord.
Oh,
So C, E flat, and C sharp is a perfect chord. So this thing just, I mean, I haven't got it all organized properly. So D, F, and B flat is a perfect chord. So this is one of the biggest ahas I ever got from sacred geometry, working with the Pythagoras' theory and the 12 notes or the 12 colors of the scale. So that creates harmony. Anyway.
Wow.
Thank you for letting me share that with somebody other than me, because it probably die somewhere.
Thank you.
Welcome.
It's really interesting to see how when we take the different aspects of our lives and line them up in the right way, it creates harmony. If you line them up in the wrong way, it creates discord. And knowing what things kind of match to each other in the notes and the colors and the in all kinds of things. It allows us to find those places of harmony that we can then sort of build into our environment and into our lives.
What a way to conclude that. Well done, Linda.
Thank you. All right, any other questions, or are we going to call this a wrap? All right. Well, I want to thank each and all of you for participating, and a huge thank you to our presenters. We trust you will go forward and apply these tools, share them with many people. We don't want this to stay a secret. Please share the journal with whoever you would like to share it with. We're happy to have it given away all around the world. If this has inspired you to pursue further training, please contact any of the participants or the speakers about the modalities that they use. Check out on the Can Be Well site for upcoming classes, and check out all the recorded webinars that are already there for you to just access and use. If you aren't yet a member of Can Be Well, you'll want to be, because there's so many resources available to members that you won't find anywhere else. Thank you, and may you be blessed and strong using your tools to remain calm and balanced throughout your workday. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you on next year's Mental Health Wellness Day.
Thanks, Linda.
Thank you. Thank you.